Ugh, you said you were over him, but his hoodie is stealing your rotation. It's time. Grab your phone, snap a few pics, and sell it on Depop. Listed in minutes, with no selling fees. And just like that, a guy 500 miles away just paid full price for your closure. And right on cue.
Hey, still got my hoodie?
Nope, but I've got tonight's dinner paid for. Start selling on Depop, where taste recognizes taste. List now with no selling fees. Payment processing fees and boosting fees still apply. See website for details.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
We appreciate Senator Mark Kelly's work and his time. He's a former U.S. Navy combat pilot. He's an astronaut, former astronaut. He's the current senator for Arizona, Mark Kelly. We appreciate the time, Senator, for you joining us between a war, government shutdown, and having to defend your First Amendment rights against Trump and Hegseth as they threaten to take away your military retirement rank and pay. I don't know how you're not walking around every day wildly insulted about the position our country and its leadership has put you in. Thank you for the time.
Well, it's good to be on, and thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
How did we get to war with Iran, and what are you finding most offensive about how we got here?
Well, I think we got here because we have a president that has a hard time thinking more than one step ahead. And these things have second and third order effects. I also think he's an individual that doesn't listen to people around him. And in his second term, he has put folks around him, Secretary of Defense being, I think, at the top of the list, people who really shouldn't be in these jobs. So you're not getting great advice. You're also generally not listening to this advice. In the case of what happened in Iran, I really believe the president thought we'd drop a few bombs here, and then the administration would fall in Tehran, and we'd have a new government that would be supportive of the United States. Incredibly optimistic thinking. And I'm generally an optimist, guys. I flew a spaceship built by the lowest bidder, but I'm not that optimistic. These things tend to go sideways on you, and he wasn't thinking ahead. And now we're in a situation with the Strait of Hormuz shut down, 20% of the world's oil going through there, and he's got no answers and never had a real strategic goal for what this should be. So, I look at this thing, and I fought over there. I mean, I spent, 1991, I was in the first Gulf War. I know how complicated these things are. This thing is turning into a train wreck.
What are the best case and worst case scenarios here?
Well, always the best case would be for the Iranians to say, okay, we'd like this to end. What do you want? That's not likely to turn out that way. And the worst case scenario is that we wind up with the Strait of Hormuz shut down for, who knows, months, years. I really don't see how this ends in a positive way right now. And what that means for the American people is rising costs. And it's not just gasoline and fuel. Costs go up on everything when energy costs more. Any kind of manufacturing, costs go up if the energy goes up. So that's the worst case scenario. But even beyond that, I'd say the worse than that is them rushing to get a nuclear weapon. We didn't obliterate it last summer. The president said it over and over again. Now he sometimes says that's why we're doing this operation. Sometimes he leaves it out. So there's a lot in the way of worst case.
Have you ever in your life met a human being who lies this much?
No. And I've only met him once. And it was before he was elected the first time. But he has said, I think there needs to be a new entry in the Guinness Book of World Records that includes Donald Trump for the lies and the falsehoods.
Where are you on speaking freely on his cognitive decline and failing health? What's fair there?
Well, I mean, I watch him closely, right? I mean, I don't watch everything he says, but sometimes I've seen him give statements where he contradicts himself multiple times within a matter of minutes. You know, he'll say this war is over, then he'll say he needs our allies to support it, then it's over again, then we're winning, but we want help. I mean, he'll go back and forth, and that indicates to me, I mean, you see that a lot with people, you know, his age. That happens. And he just doesn't seem to be able to track. And I'd say at the beginning of this administration, I noticed it was like from one week to the next. Now it seems to be more like from 1 minute to the next minute.
What do we do about the state of our airports? When is this going to get better, and why are ICE agents at our airports?
Well, he sent ICE agents there. He didn't send them there to take over the duties of TSA. That's what he said, but that's not what they're doing. So you still have the long lines. They shouldn't be there. We want to see ICE, you know, overhauled in a way that protects the rights of Americans. We have 2 dead Americans, and you know, how many countless of others whose constitutional rights have been violated. We could open TSA right now. We have offered to fund TSA multiple times. Unfortunately, my Republican colleagues have politicized this, and they refuse to do that. We've also offered to fund Coast Guard multiple times and FEMA. Now, ICE has a $75 billion slush fund. You know, their annual budget is typically about $10 billion. And they've got $75 billion that the president can, you know, play around with. So we want to see some changes to ICE. TSA, FEMA, Coast Guard, we could go down to the floor and offer another vote here, but somebody would block it. That's happened over and over again.
On just a human level, we can all play politics, but just on a human level, do you find yourself losing great amounts of respect for some of your peers here?
Yeah, yes, that has happened. I try to, you know, work across the aisle. I have great friends who are Republicans. You know, I work with them on a lot of things. You know, there's others, you know, I'm not going to name names, but over, you know, my time here, about 5.5 years in the United States Senate, I kind of wonder how they get this job. Why are they in this job? They don't seem to know much about a number of things. I'm not talking about the majority of my colleagues. You know, just say, you know, a couple individuals. I just don't get it.
The top official at the TSA said staffing shortages have led to the highest wait time in TSA history, and the agency has lost almost 500 officers since the shutdown began. What's the breaking point? How much worse can this get?
Well, I think I thought we were beyond the breaking point already, and that's why we continue to offer, you know, funding for TSA to try to get us out of this. You know, I hope we get a resolution here. I mean, hope is not a strategy, but, you know, I want to see this resolved as soon as possible.
There's something about college hoops this time of year where you tell yourself you're just going to casually watch one game, and suddenly your entire night is gone. That happened to me the other night. I was planning to stay home and keep a game on in the background, maybe pretend I wasn't checking scores every 5 minutes. Then a text comes in. We've got multiple screens set up. That's how they get you. So I said, yeah. I grabbed a pack of Miller Lite on the way. A little while later, nobody's casually watching anything. Somebody's yelling because their bracket is already cooked. Somebody else suddenly cares deeply about a school they hadn't thought about in 10 years. And a game that looked over is somehow tied late. You take a sip, you look around, and realize, yeah, this was absolutely the right move. That's why I reach for a Miller Lite. It's clean, refreshing, easy to drink, brewed for taste with simple ingredients. The original light beer since 1975, and still hitting different. Cheers to legendary moments with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/day and find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
You guys hear that? That's the sound of my calendar flipping over to March. Yes, I know March is more than halfway over. Don't bog me down with details. Just stick with me here because March means one thing. It means college basketball insanity. DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one sportsbook for live betting, is built for March. The tournament is unpredictable. Kind of like me, but the rewards are guaranteed. And DraftKings is delivering some of the most generous rewards on the market. Are you new to DraftKings? Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code DAN. That's code DAN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets instantly. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Hey, who wants to hear me do that crazy noise again? I do.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org on behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas. Wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
America leads the world in medicine development. It matters. We get new medicines first, nearly 3 years faster. 5 million Americans go to work because we make medicines here at home. And not relying on other countries keeps us safe. But China is racing to overtake us. Will we let them, or will we choose to stay ahead? When America leads, America cures. Let's tell Washington to keep us in the lead.
Learn how at americacures.com. Paid for by Pharma.
The thing that makes you go home at night cursing because you're like, I can't believe the state of this country. Like you are somebody who has served honorably and nobly because of the way you believe in the principles of this country, and you see them being urinated on. Like, are you going home optimist or not? Hope not a strategy, as you said. Are you going home every night saying, I don't recognize what's happening here?
Well, I mean, this has just been like the slow-moving, train wreck over the last year. And I knew when Donald Trump was reelected, I thought we were going to go through some really challenging times. I didn't know it was going to be this bad. I didn't know we were going to go to, war against Iran with no strategic goal and no plan and no, he's not even playing at checkers at this point. You often think of is this guy playing chess or checkers? And you would say, well, he's playing checkers. He's not even playing checkers. I think he's playing with a couple of those solo cups, right?
Flip cup.
And it's those red cups. He's moving two of them around.
Yeah. There's a two of hearts somewhere, and he's just making his own game.
Yeah, he's just moving those two things around, not really thinking ahead on anything here. Hey, we're in some challenging times, but I think we're up for the challenge. I think we're going to get through this. I spent a career 25 years in the United States Navy. I've seen the best of this country. I also flew on a rocket ship 4 times. I see what the United States can do when we put our minds to things. We have the best scientists, engineers, the best innovators. I really think if we can get our politics fixed, the future for this country is better than any other country on the planet. We've got hard problems to solve. We got the people that can solve them. We need to get rid of the children out of the way. I don't literally mean that. I mean the people that politicize everything and make this stuff a lot more complicated than it needs to be. We need to focus on science and data and facts and get rid of a lot of the bullshit.
It's not working, though. Like you said a form of that last time you were joining us during a different shutdown, right? And I understand why you're saying...
And it's gotten worse.
Yeah, well, that's... Yes, it's gotten worse. The challenges have gotten worse. Put us next to you, though. Put us next to you. As someone who believes in the principles of governance and the principles of this country, when the news gets to you for the first time, yeah, we're bombing Iran.
I mean, it's like, what the... I'm not going to drop the F-bomb on you here, but it's like why? What is the strategic goal? I got a list of 15 things. I've been keeping track, and it changes. I was down in the skiff the other day, and we were talking about what's the goal now. You know what one of the goals is? To open up the Strait of Hormuz, obviously. Well, that wasn't a goal on 27 February because it wasn't closed. So now we have a strategic goal that was of our own making, a problem that we made. And who's paying for this? The American people, who are having a hard time affording rent. Half the country is having a hard time affording groceries. People are working 2 jobs. They're never going to get a chance to go on a vacation. And we're spending $1 to $2 billion a day on this thing, every single day. You know what that money could have been used for? Could have been don't cut kids' SNAP benefits so they can eat and they can have a a lunch when they go to school. Give people, don't cut their health care. Instead, this money is being spent on the other side of the world. And by the way, we're depleting our munitions in a way that I have never seen before in my career, and it makes us less safe.
Senator, we have less than a minute here. Thank you for your time. A lot of the issues that you're highlighting are a direct result of misinformation being spread. And now we're at a time with AI advancements where you look at your phone and you simply cannot trust what you see. I'm wondering if misinformation is a huge issue for politicians like yourself, and what can be done about this for the future, because it's only going to get worse.
It is going to get worse before it gets better. It's something we talk about a lot. It's going to get, and it always gets worse when we're getting up to an election. I would just caution people, watching your show, is that when you get to election time, probably a third, maybe half of what you see online about political candidates and about issues around the election comes from the Russians, the Chinese, the North Koreans, and the Iranians. That they have misinformation operations at scale, and they just flood the zone with a bunch of, stuff. So I would advise people, go to a trusted source. You might not like the, New York Times, go to the Wall Street Journal or vice versa. Go to your local newspaper. Go to ESPN. Go to your show.
Yeah.
Good information on your show. But getting stuff, off of Twitter, if you don't know the source, take it with a grain of salt.
Senator, thank you for the time. And it's not good information on our show. Last time he was on it, he said Kyler Murray was going to remain a Cardinal and was a great quarterback.
Yeah, that was fast. Respectfully, Senator, that was a bad take. I told you back then he wasn't that good. You told me he was good, and then all of a sudden he's a Viking.
It's the most offensive thing that's happened to you recently.
Now be honest.
Hey, but we got the number 3 pick.
All right.
So we got options.
Murray went number 1.
This guy's so hopeful. Thank you, Senator. We appreciate the time. Thank you.
Good to talk to you.
Likewise. Zaz, I thought you were great there.
Really? Was he better than Chris? Because Chris,
Flip cup. Flip cup, he says.
I heard him.
I heard him. Cup game.
I heard him mutter during the middle of one of my questions. Okay, he says, "Flip cup." That's why I don't talk politics. That's what he said it while I was asking the question.
Oh, was that? I hit the
He
wrong
looked at
button.
Senator Kelly and this guy will get this drinking game reference.
I wonder if it'll rattle Chris going into trivia on the pitch clock that's coming up.
Dan, are you going to clip where the senator said we have to get rid of the children?
Yes, he will.
I looked away and then I heard that and I was like, wait, what?
Dan, spearheading our digital team, will make sure that is out there.
Make the cut, Dan.
Because our show is a trusted news source.
That's right. Where do you get your information? I do so with Pitch Clock in a second, and then at 3 o'clock with Pitch Clock. It's a trusted news source. I cannot believe that we're giving you more Jeremy on a day when he's had this many bad jokes.
Can I get Unda one more time?
Protein is now at Starbucks, and it's never tasted so good. You can add protein cold foam to your favorite drink or try one of our new protein lattes or matcha. Try it today at Starbucks.
Spring starts at the Home Depot, and we are bringing the heat to your backyard this season. Fire up the flavor with our wide variety of grills for under $300, like the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill that's perfect for hosting your spring cookout. Then set the scene and turn your outdoor space into the go-to spot with patio sets for every budget. Bring it this season with grills that deliver flavor and patios that set the vibe from the Home Depot. Start your spring with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
This Friday, the time-traveling comedy movie of the year arrives. Mike and Nick and Alice, only on Hulu. The film stars Vince Vaughn, James Marsden, and Asa Gonzalez in a wild action comedy about one disastrous night that spirals out of control. And here's the twist. There are 2 Vince Vaughns. Don't miss Mike and Nick and Alice, written and directed by Ben David Grabinski. Streaming this Friday, only on Hulu. Rated R.
Don Le Batard.
Can I tell you something? I don't know, it was maybe like a month ago. And I decided to watch Pitch Clock. And I told Jeremy,
Stugotz.
This is a good show you're doing.
This is the Don Le Batard show with the Stugotz.
Baseball is back, Jack. Time for your favorite springtime sport. We are saying names like Unesky Betancourt. That's it.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the Pitch Clock. Here's the pitch. A two-part baseball segment
combining a nostalgic baseball trivia game and an interview with an expert.
This is the Pitch Clock.
Happy opening day! Yay, yay, yay! We're going to have an opening day live stream on the Batard YouTube channel later today.
I'll be there.
You'll be there. I'll be there. Ethan will be there.
Unfortunately.
Yep. Will Percy be there?
Percy will be there.
Percy will be there too. And Percy's here right now as we get into our trivia for today. We will have some expertise previewing the Major League Baseball season a little bit later on in today's show. But Ethan, what is our trivia for this opening day?
Do you actually know what day your dog was born?
Her birthday's today.
Happy birthday, Percy. Way to be
Congrats
alive.
to Percy's
She's
parents.
7 years old.
Congrats to Percy's parents on the sex.
Happy Mickey Mantle year.
All right, Percy, get down.
Pudge Rodriguez year.
All right, boys, it's opening day. So we're
this is
getting
great.
back into the wheelhouse here, boys. So in front of you, there are two opening day rosters.
Oh my God, I'm writing all
The
these.
one with the new Marlins logo, hold on, is 2020. The 2020 opening day roster, the COVID season. The one with the old Marlins logo is 2006. Okay, that was Percy trying to get in here. The old Marlins logo is the 2006 opening day roster. Now, I have given you the names in a line straight down, not by position like I normally do,
And
to make
not
this
by
a
batting
little more
order?
difficult, not in batting order, just
That's
in
the tougher
random
part.
order.
What year? Dude, give me the years again.
2006 for the old Marlins logo, and 2020 for the new Marlins logo. So what you're going to do is you're going to give me a name, you're going to put that person in a position, and if you are correct, then we'll keep going. It's going to be 3 strikes and you're out, like most of our lineup games. Jeremy, you dominated Pitch Clock Jeopardy last week. You are going to go first.
Okay, so I'll start with the easiest one on this list. In the 2006,
yes,
we have DW. That's your pitcher, Dontrell Willis.
Correct.
All right. Instead of showing off some of the deeper cuts I know, I'm going to take some of the easy ones off.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
And I will take Hanley Ramirez.
Yes.
HR 06.
You said he has to get the position.
Oh, well, yes.
All right.
He knew the position.
Just beneath Hanley Ramirez on this list, you have DU. That's your second baseman, Dan Uggla.
Correct.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure. All right. We'll just keep it rolling here. Miguel Cabrera. Right after Dan Uggla.
What position?
Obviously.
What position? What position was he playing in 2006?
Give me a chance to think about it for a second. I'm trying to think because I know the positions he played throughout his career. I'm trying to think that year. Did he go? I don't think he had gone to first base yet. It's either third base or right field.
Which one is it?
This is stupid. It should just be the name. Like, what are we really doing?
Which one is it?
What are we really doing here?
Which one is it?
Right field.
Cody, that is incorrect.
So I'm going to go ahead and say Miguel Cabrera, third base.
Correct.
Yeah, screw you guys.
Love you. As is exemplified by my t-shirt here, baseball is for everyone. That everyone includes Adnan Virk, who you know from his book, Cinephile. You also know him as the man on MLB Tonight, covering all things Major League Baseball, and you also know him as our most consistent guest. So why not start the MLB regular season with Adnan Virk to take us through basically the table setter for what this season is going to be. For every listener of the Pitch Clock, we are going to get you ready to watch Major League Baseball this season.
And as I always say, Jeremy, listen, we love basketball, we love hockey, we love football. We're huge sports fans, of course, but there are 2 seasons. There is baseball season and waiting for baseball season.
That's exactly right. Baseball season and waiting for Godot. So give me our 3 best teams in Major League Baseball going into the year.
Number 3 is the Philadelphia Phillies. They were a 96-win team a season ago. Yes, they lose Ranger Suarez, but I'm hoping for big things from Andrew Painter. And I do think Adolis Garcia replacing Nick Castellanos is an improvement, definitely defensively and hopefully offensively as well. Zach Wheeler will be back at some point or other. Christopher Sanchez had a breakout season. They locked him up long-term. They've locked up Jesus Luzardo as well. Schwarber got re-signed. Phillies still have the horses. Number 2 is the Yankees, 94 wins. And now Garrett Cole returns. Judge is a 3-time MVP. I don't see any letdown there from the Yankees. And number one, of course, is the Dodgers. You go out and sign Kyle Tucker. You get Edwin Diaz, one of the best closers in baseball. It's ridiculous. They may not have the most wins, by the way. We saw this last year. They're not like a juggernaut. They're not 112 wins, but when it's all said and done, they're the best team in baseball.
Obviously, Dodgers, Yankees, Phillies. That's not a surprise. But Adnan, who are 3 teams in baseball this year that you think could, under the radar, sneaky compete, end up being teams that we're talking about as we chase the postseason?
So the first one I'll give you is the Texas Rangers. They actually had the best starting pitcher ERA in baseball last year, and they've now added Mackenzie Gore, who always had type stuff, but it felt like he wasn't quite an ace. Well, no problem. Now you can be the best number 3 in baseball because we're going to have Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi in front of you. Jack Leiter really came into his own last year, just like his dad, Al, one of my colleagues at MLB Network. Walks a little too much, but he's got great strikeout stuff, and Jack started to figure it out last year. Still waiting for Kumar Rocker to come along, but their starting pitching is outstanding.
Yeah.
Worry about their bullpen a little bit, and their offense needs to pick it up beyond Corey Seager. They traded Marcus Semien, but I think if Wyatt Langford has a big season, if Evan Carter has a good season, maybe Texas is a team that will be tougher than we expect in the American League West. The other one, as you've mentioned, I've mentioned you before, just for our boy Damashek, the Pittsburgh Pirates, because of the fact they did get some more offense. They knew they had to get some power, so Brandon Lau's got 30 home run potential, especially from the left side. Clemente Walder and right. You got Marcelo Zuna, he's maybe 20, 25 home runs. Ryan O'Hearn, 20, 25 home runs. Jake Mangum in that lineup. So maybe 80 home runs perhaps for the team that hit the fewest home runs in baseball. It's a good sign. Jared Jones is not back until midseason, but beyond Skeens, who's a supernova, you've got Mitch Keller, you got Braxton Ashcraft. I think they're a really good team. Pirates, even if they score 4 runs a game, Jeremy, that could be a 500 team. And as we know, the Reds made the playoffs with 83 wins. And lastly, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, this one's tricky because their starting pitching isn't great. Beyond Zach Allen, who I love, fellow Eagles fan, he gets the qualifying offer. He's their ace. Eduardo Rodriguez, though, was great at the World Baseball Classic.
Awesome at the WBC.
But really, I just want to mention the fact they've got 3 of the best position players in baseball. Like, it's crazy when you think of Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Geraldo Perdomo. Perdomo was 4th in MVP voting last season. He's one of the most anonymous, unassuming stars in the game. They're probably not good enough, but they're a really fun team to watch, especially with those 3 stars.
4th in MVP voting, probably the 3rd biggest star on his own team in Arizona, which shows you just how under the radar he really is. And I like this pick from you as an under the radar team because I remember last year they were your pick to go to the World Series, and I'm not going to let you forget it.
06 catcher Miguel Olivo.
That's my boy. Dog.
That's a great one.
That's my dog.
I love that deeper cut there.
I mean, I'm just.
So here's my debate about how I'm going about this,
First
Chris.
pitch, fastball swinger.
My debate on how I'm going about this is: do I want to continue to name names from 2006, hoping
obviously
to stump you?
Yeah.
Because I don't think you'll know just about any of the ones from.
I have 2 written down.
2020.
Thank you very much.
For what it's worth, I'm struggling more with this than I thought I would.
Yeah, I mean,
I know one of them, and I can't wait to say his name. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and go to JW in left field. That's Josh Willingham.
Correct.
So thus far, just so we all are clear, there have been 6 names taken off the board. We have Hanley Ramirez, Dan Ugla, Miguel Cabrera, Josh Willingham, Dontrell Willis, and Miguel Olivo from the 2006 Marlins. There have been 0 Marlins from the 2020 roster named yet.
Can we make a rule that for 2020 you don't have to do positions?
I mean, fair, but there's a few guys here. I don't want to change the rules. There's a few guys here that you should know.
I do.
Cody.
It's on me?
The board is yours.
Position this guy played.
Are you going 06 or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just already doing shitty here, if you must know. All right. 2020 catcher Harold Ramirez.
Oof.
Did he not play
Harold
catcher?
Ramirez was on this roster, but he did not play
not
catcher.
A catcher.
See, that's why you guys
but see, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to.
I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of Augustine Ramirez or Augustine Ramirez, Gus Ramirez, if you will. He's not on this team in 2020.
How about me getting
he just
Harold
came
Ramirez,
up.
though?
Harold Ramirez is great.
Shout. No, great shout. I want to give it to you so bad. I really do.
I'm not going to. I'm going to give you another opportunity to guess that one because I'm going to tell you who the catcher was.
8 guesses.
I'm going to tell you who the catcher was.
Yeah.
And you're going to love this. This is Italy manager Francisco Cervelli.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. Didn't he play like 3 games in that series?
He was there
and then get a concussion and then not play again.
His concussions were really a big issue for him, but I was just speaking at spring training with Marlins catcher Brian Alvaretto, and he said Francisco Cervelli still mentors him to this day.
2020 pitcher Sandy Alcantara.
There you go.
There it is.
All right, so Chris is down to 2 strikes.
Up to 2 strikes.
Sure.
Fallon pitches off there.
I'm going to go ahead
Sandy just Fallon pitches off.
I'm going to go ahead and stick with 06 just to try to make Chris be put in the position to have to figure this out. I'm going to say MJ on the 2006 Marlins is Mike Jacobs, the first baseman.
Correct. Not Jewish. Famously not Jewish. But held Jewish Heritage Night with him as the face of Jewish Heritage Night.
All right, let's get into this, Adnan. I want to start focusing on the individuals. So outside of Ohtani and Judge, who are the very obvious guys to watch, 2 of the greatest players of this time period, of this generation, and really of all time, if we're being our most honest, but we can get into that another time. I want the top 5 players that you're looking forward to watching this Major League Baseball season.
Well, there's nobody that me and my kids enjoy watching more than Fernando Tatis Jr. You know, Nando is the coolest guy to watch play baseball. You saw at the World Baseball Classic, he had huge home runs, the best bat flips in the game, the eye black, the dreads, the stutter step into third base, and the dancing. I mean, every time Nando's out there, he's the best. Just in terms of WAR, he's one of the best players in baseball because he's so incredible defensively. Like, this is a guy who's always going to win a Gold Glove in right field. And he could be a Platinum Glove Award winner as he's been in the past. I hope he has some more power this year. We know the power hasn't been the same ever since he got popped for PEDs. He's more of a 25 home run guy rather than a 42 home run guy. But still, every time Nando's out there, I just think he's so much fun to watch. Paul Skeens, I think, is must-see TV. Every time he's on the bump, you go, if this guy could throw a no-hitter, he could rack up, immaculate innings. Skeens, to me, is always must-see TV. Ellie De La Cruz, again, much in the mold of a Nando, electrifying, young, talented, brash, the bat flips, the excitement, the dreads. And I hope that Terry Francona can get him to cut down the strikeouts because I do think, at his best, Ellie De La Cruz could be an MVP candidate. Pete Crow Armstrong apparently is about to be locked up by the Cubs. He had an unbelievable first half. He slowed in the second half, unfortunately. But just, again, based on WAR alone, this guy's a 6-WAR player because he's spectacular defensively. He's the best defensive player.
So good.
Right, he's an elite base runner, and I know his on-base percentage isn't great. Sub 300 is not great to me, but he can slug, and he's a 30-30 player, the first the Cubs have had since Sammy Sosa. He's also a great dude. Not sure if you had a chance to interview him. I have. PC is an awesome guy, very down-to-earth. Mom was in Summer Catch. I mean, the son of an actor who...
Little Big League. Come on, don't get it twisted.
I was thinking about Freddie Prinze Jr.
The mother of one Bill Haywood, okay?
Good catch, Taché. And the last one, this one might surprise you. So I'm going with the young players and stars, but the one to watch for me is Bryce Harper. He got called out by Dave Dombrowski last season. He's a 2-time MVP. Philadelphia has a lot of pressure on them. They've re-signed Schwarber, but this is kind of an aging core, right? Castellanos is gone. Real Muto's back. Who knows how much more he has left? I'm very curious what Bryce Harper does. Did not have a great WBC with the exception of one massive home run in the final. I'm really, really curious to watch Bryce Harper this season. I hope he has a big-time year, but I'm curious after what Dave did calling him out.
I love that call. Jake Mintz of Cespedes Family Barbecue last week on our show mentioned Harper as one of the guys he's watching this year. He also made a comparison that you are going to love very quickly. He called him the Elvis Presley of baseball, as a guy who is a white guy culture vulture, but it's actually a good thing in the long run for the sport. So ultimately, Adnan, this is true rapid fire here, all right? I'm going to list off several things. We're going to get your picks, and we're going to call it a day. And then I'm going to fact check you later in the year. We're going to go back through this list. I'm taking notes. So, Adnan, who are your MVPs in each league?
Shohei wins his 5th MVP and his first MVP after being a runner-up to Shohei Ohtani in 2021. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. wins the American League MVP.
Cy Youngs in each league.
Mariners pitching staff is so electric. Every year you feel like you can pick a different guy. It's going to be Logan Gilbert. It's going to be George Kirby. I'm calling Brian Wu to win a Cy Young. Mariners. And how about the National League? Logan Webb. Perennially a bridesmaid, never a bride. Logan Webb finally wins a Cy. This guy every year, 200+ plus innings, 200 plus strikeouts.
Incredible. Logan Webb is like an old school pitcher. If you love old school pitching, fans of the pitch clock, he is a guy that's must-see TV on MLB TV. Division winners in each division, Adnan. Tell me who you got.
Yankees, Tigers, and Mariners in the American League, and the National League, Phillies, Cubs, and Dodgers. Feel like I'm going chalk. No real surprises here, but I'm not going to get burned again after betting on the Royals last season.
Yeah, you did bet on the Royals last season. Thank you for bringing it up yourself, because I was going to. Who are your wild card winners?
Best division in baseball is the American League East. You're going to see the Blue Jays and the Red Sox in the playoffs, and the Astros will just squeak out the Orioles and the Guardians. So I've got Jays, Red Sox, Astros, the National League, Mets, Padres, and back in the playoffs for Buster Posey, the San Francisco Giants. A full season of Rafael Devers. Look forward to that.
Who makes the World Series and who ultimately wins it?
Yankees over the Dodgers. We get a rematch for a couple years.
Wow.
Aaron Judge finally silences the critics and has his big moment, much like Barry Bonds finally had his big moment, 2002 Giants against the Angels.
That would be spectacular for Major League Baseball after what should be a great season. We've had mentioned in this pitch clock Dodgers, Yankees, Phillies, Diamondbacks, Rangers, Pirates, Padres, Reds, Cubs, Dodgers again. Everybody in baseball except for the Marlins.
Yeah.
All right.
Let the Marlins talk to you. Your boy Peter Bendix, you got it covered.
You will leave the Marlins talk to me. We're actually doing it in the trivia game that's happening right now amidst this pitch clock. But pitch clock fans, if you live here in Miami and you're planning on potentially going out to the ballpark, may I entice you with the fact that this weekend, opening weekend, I will actually be your in-stadium host. You could see me on the big screen welcoming you to the ballpark. I'm looking forward to it and getting back on that broadcast on Marlins.tv. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can also check out Adnan on MLB Network. He'll have you covered all throughout opening day. He's also going to join us on our live stream later today. We will be live Thursday the 26th from 3 to 5. You can watch us on the Batard YouTube channel. Adnan, as always, thank you for joining us.
Cody,
there's no way that the Marlins right fielder in 06. Ethan, talk to me with your eyes.
Don't talk to him with your eyes. Stop talking to him with your eyes.
Look at it on the sheet.
I'm not looking at him. I know who it is.
So
I know
do
who
I.
it is.
I don't know who else this could be. Jeremy Hermida.
Yeah, baby.
Awesome.
Doesn't that name just get you juiced up?
Yeah, I love the name Jeremy.
Jeremy
We only
Hermida.
have one more.
Yeah. If you guys get this guy, I like that's deep Marlins
Yeah.
knowledge because I didn't know this name.
Oh, can you tell us position then? Do we both agree?
Well, there's one position
There's only
left.
one position left on the field.
Shit. Okay, let me do that math.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move back up to the 2020 Marlins while Chris does math. I'm going to name their third baseman. That's at the bottom of this list, B.A. Brian Anderson.
Correct.
Oh, yeah. See, this is so annoying. I'm still in
There's
this
one
game.
name
I'm
here.
in this game if it's not for the positions. I don't remember what position this guy played.
Yeah, it is fair. He has, to Chris's credit, he's gotten every name.
Oh, he's spot on. Yeah, that's
but-
why I added the positional
Yeah. Oh, is
element
that why you
because
did
There's another level of knowledge, sir.
yeah, if I just gave you guys the initials at positions, I don't think you guys would have struck out.
Well, I think
so
it's just
I had to make it a little
could
more
have just
difficult.
been they're not at their positions, but it could be the way you did it. You just don't have to say the position.
Yeah.
That could have been an option as well.
Go ahead.
It's like I know this guy played all over the field, but I think he wasn't our starting in 2020. Could he have been the starting? Okay. Did he's just all right? I'm gonna follow Jeremy here. Shortstop. Like, Jim. I hate this. It's Ian Desmond.
No. Ian Desmond was never a Marlin. He was a Rocky. I actually remember Ian Desmond sitting out this year.
I'll tell you who it is.
Who else has ID?
ID. Your starting second baseman for the 2020 Miami Marlins.
He's got it.
Isan Diaz.
That's correct.
Oh God, that guy.
All right, so let's go around the board here. So that is 3 strikes. And
Can I try to
out.
name a couple more, but I can't remember what positions they would have played?
absolutely.
Is there a world in which Jorge Alfaro played left field?
Jorge Alfaro did not play left field. That JA is Jesus Aguilar.
Jesus Aguilar at first base. And then
Arepa Power.
Corey Dickerson in
Arula
left.
Power as well. Corey Dickerson was in left. Yep.
So I couldn't remember.
I'm stunned you guys haven't gotten the shortstop.
Oh, Miguel Rojas.
Yes.
And then JV.
This is a deep cut.
I'm trying to think.
This one's a deep cut.
I have no
Jonathan VR was in center field on opening day.
Right, Jonathan VR.
Good
and then
times.
who was the center fielder in 2006?
Eric Reed. R-E-E-D.
Definitely
not
definitely
R-E-I-D.
not.
It's the third time I've started in left field for the Marlins.
That's a
Marlins.
victory in which Jeremy Taché has started 1-0 in trivia this year.